We have health insurance policies and life insurance policies, but very few people have a life plan. Based on your current life's plan, based on your current actions, what you're currently doing, what is in store for your future? Do you even think about these things? If you haven't achieved all of your goals and dreams, you must keep watching this video. If you don't know what's in store for your future, you must keep watching this video. What you're currently doing dictates your future. In your current life's plan, are you conjuring up a life full of success? Are you conjuring up a life full of greatness? Do you know where you're going? Have you set any new goals within the past day or so? If you haven't, stop that immediately. I welcome you to episode 22, part 4 of Just Get Up and Manifest Your Inner Genius. This series is highlighting my book, Just Get Up and Manifest Your Inner Genius. Today we're going to talk about a very powerful theory that will change your life forever. This theory is called the limelight spot effect, and this is discussed in chapter 5 of my book. It's a theory I created that if you accurately apply it, will make you unstoppable. Believe that. Now, before we get into the meat of our discussion today, I want you to put the future that you really want inside of your head right now. Take a few seconds to do that. There's no harm in doing that. Take a few seconds to create the life that you want. The life that you want is now only waiting for you to put the correct actions behind that life. I want to tell you about a guy named Sylvester Stallone. You know who he is, a famous actor. But I want to tell you about his background, his true story. So Sylvester Stallone wanted to be a writer and an actor. Everyone turned him down. He couldn't make any money. He was writing movie scripts and just writing. Everyone said, no, that's not good enough. He lost his dog. He lost his wife. He sacrificed it all, but no one believed in him. He never gave up until one day he went to the library and he started reading about Edgar Allan Poe. He read all of his stuff, and then shortly after that, he watched the Muhammad Ali fight, and that's when he came up with the idea of Rocky. Now, at this point, he had been trying to come up with an idea, but everyone turned it down. Do you know that one idea can change your life? Don't ever stop creating ideas. Now, what happened was they offered him over $100,000 for Rocky. He said, no, it's worth more than that. Not only that, I want to play the character. They said, no, you're not an actor. You talk funny, you look funny. You're not going to play Rocky. So they say, okay, we'll give you $250,000. He still turned it down. They say, okay, we'll give you 300 and something thousand. He says, I'm not selling this unless I'm playing the character. That is belief in oneself and knowing what one wants. Now, he's taking a risk. He doesn't have any money at this point. What would you have done? What do you think happened next? Eventually, they said, okay, we're going to take a risk. We're not going to give you a lot of money. We're going to give you $1 million for this movie script and to play this character. Now, they were willing to pay some other actor way more money than this. But Rocky demanded, he knew his worth. And that movie sold over $200 million, made over $200 million rather. And you must understand this. If he had not had the courage to act, to say, you know what, I don't have any money. I don't have $5 in my pocket. Give me that $100,000. He knew what he wanted, and he was willing to sacrifice it because he knew if he kept going, someone would see his value. Now, that's a true story. And that movie is powerful knowing the back line or the background of what actually took place. Rocky's story reminds me of myself. When I'm thinking about my book, when you're reading it, Just Get Up and Manifest Your Inner Genius. I remember when I made up my mind to escape poverty, when I realized I wanted to get in shape because I wanted to be a martial arts master, just coming up with ideas. And I was kept creating and creating and creating. I said, there has to be a way. And I knew that I didn't have anyone to count on, but I knew that God gave me a brain. And I knew if I could find an idea, nurture that idea. So I started working out. I didn't have any weights. Now one could say, how I'm going to work out without weights? How I'm going to get stronger? You know what I did? Where there is a will to win, there is always a way to win. Remember that. So I looked at my dresser and I pulled out the drawer that was in my dresser and I started curling it out of my nightstand right there. You see, I realized that created some resistance. So I used what I had until I can get some weights. Do you use what you currently have to create the future that you want? You see, a lot of people often don't pursue their goals and dreams because they try to wait until they get all this stuff. Come out into the universe, so to speak, with what you have. What you have is enough to start, because if you don't start, you can never finish. So what you must understand, you don't have to get started. You don't have to pretty much be the best to get started, but you do have to get started to one day become the best. So when you think about Sylvester Stallone's story, when you're reading my book and you learn about my story, I remember when I was trying to become an entrepreneur at the time and I didn't have the education that I need. People told me no, and people were helping me out. Eventually people will start helping you out, but I kept searching, I kept digging. I refused to be denied. And again, I had my breakthrough, and it took about 6 years. But what happened, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I kept going. Now, I probably could have sped up that process with enough help. So what I'm telling you is you can model the laws of success. See, what you want, it's going to take some time. But the quicker you model the proven paths, which my book will help you to do and understand, the quicker you'll get your goals and dreams. Right now, eliminate any possibility of you not succeeding. This is not something that you try to do. Either you're going to do it or you're not. As Benjamin Disraeli once said, nothing can resist the human will that will stake its existence on its stated purpose. In order to tap into this power, you must make up your mind what you want. And the first step to making up your mind to what you want is to truly believe that it's possible, to truly believe in yourself. The limelight spot effect is a theory that contrasts the spotlight effect, which was established in 1999. Now, this theory, the spotlight effect, talks about people being absorbed with thinking that people are concerned about their failures. You see, no one is keeping track of your failures but you. So even if, just like Thomas Edison, no one cares that he failed 10,000 times. They're benefiting from the light bulb. And that's how people will be with your successes. But there is someone who is concerned about all of your failures, and it's you. So that's why I created the limelight spot effect, helping you to appreciate that you can be your own worst enemy and showing you how to combat this ideology of you being overly concerned with what other people are thinking. You are creating that. You dictate the outcome. You dictate the perspectives. So this theory allows you to strengthen your belief in yourself, because based on how you believe, it will be manifested in your actions. If you truly believe that you can do something, you're going to go for it. If you don't believe it, you won't go for it. It is that simple. So you can have all the blueprints in the world, all the right answers. If you don't believe in yourself, none of that will matter. So that theory, when you read this book, I want you to apply those exercises. You see, when you think about the earth and the sun, which one is bigger? Which one needs one another? Do you know that the sun can exist without the earth, but the earth cannot exist without the sun? You see, that's how you are. You are the sun, and the earth or the world needs you. They need what you're bringing to this planet. So right now, fire up what's inside of you. Right now, unleash it, because you are very valuable and you are important, and you must understand that. Now think about this as well. I'm sure you had the experience where you had something on your face or whatever, and maybe someone told you, like, look, hey, you got something on there, and maybe you couldn't remove it all. So you start using their pair of eyes, and eventually you say, okay, I'm going to go check it out on my own. Now, when you look in the mirror, you can see clearly where to start to eliminate what you're trying to get rid of. Now, the interesting part is, if you had did that from the start, you would have had a jump start on trying to eliminate what's on your face, on your clothes, whatever it may be. Do you know that you need to look within yourself for the answers first? Because how can someone else help you to find something that you don't know? Think about that. So if you don't know, people are going to create the future that they want based on their consciousness, based on how they think. You must take control of your life. Believe the visions that you have in your head. Believe the passions that tug at your heart. Believe in the things that come the easiest to you. Those things will lead to your true gift of value. Those things will lead to you unlocking your inner genius. And those things will lead to you living a legendary life. So if you truly desire to be unstoppable, then you need to read that chapter in this book. But the whole book is designed to tap into this genius that you have one chapter at a time. You can quote me on this. You most certainly have an inner genius inside of you. No one is better than you. You see, there's something called sensory acuity. That is simply being aware of your capabilities. You can't do something that you don't believe in. You can't implement something that you're not aware of. Intelligence is really a higher level of awareness. So the more aware you are of what you're capable of, the more you're going to do. So trust this as we transition into the next episode. You have not even begun to tap into 10% of your abilities. You are living below your potential. And that must stop immediately. So the future that you want and desire should be something of greatness. But whatever you're currently doing dictates your future. If you're watching TV all the time, if you're not investing in your mind, if you're not nurturing the things that come the easiest to you, then you're not going to get the future that you want. You must rearrange your life right now. You must have a life's plan. What a tragedy it is when people focus on more things such as health insurance and life insurance policies, but not actually have a plan for life. What if you live 50 years and you never tapped into any of those resources? But at the end of life, that's it, at that particular point. Now, of course, this depends on how you believe as far as some religious things. It may not be the end. But however, just looking at life in itself, what we know right now, you need a life plan. You need to plan for the future. Because as Malcolm X once said, those who do the things today are planning for the future that they want to have tomorrow. Success isn't an accident, and neither is failure. So what are you going to do moving forward? I'm calling you to action. What are you going to do? This is a necessity that you just get up and manifest your inner genius. So remember, pre-order a copy of my book. It will really help you. Stay tuned for next week's episode. And remember this. You are more capable than what you're displaying right now. You are unstoppable. Believe it, know it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Listen to my podcast episodes. Contact me on my website for speech, health, sales coaching, or nutrition tips. Whatever you need, I can provide it for you. But in the meanwhile, stay tuned for next week's episode. And I wish you the best. And please recognize your true value. Believe in yourself and go live your dreams. It's Isaac Miller, your motivational speaker, sales coach, and author, and I am inspiration. Thank you.